This video is about multiplying with decimals. The important thing to remember with multiplying with decimals is that your answer will have decimals in it as well, most of the time. One of the ways we can work with decimals and multiplication is to count the places to the right of the decimal point. Your answer will have the same number of places to the right of the decimal point. So as an example, I'm not even going to make you do the math, but we can take a look at these problems. Here I have to the right of the decimal point, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So my answer will have 6 decimal places to the right of the decimal point. Here I have, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. It'll have 4 places. In this one, here's a decimal point, and this is a decimal point. And I want you to notice that unlike with addition and subtraction, the placement of the decimal point is no longer as important. In fact, lining things up is not as important. But here, up here I have 1, 2, and here I have 1, 2, 3. So I will have 5 places to the right of the decimal point in that answer. In this last one, I have 1, here's the decimal point, 2, 3, 4, 5, there's the decimal point, 6, 7. So my answer, which will be a fairly large number, or it will have at least a lot of digits, will have 7 places to the right of the decimal point. So let's see what this looks like in practice. So here I have 5/10 times 6/10. Now I know by looking at it I have 1 place and 1 place. So my answer will have 2 places to the right of the decimal. Now here I don't have to worry about decimals when I'm doing the actual math because I know that 5 times 6 is 30. And if I start here, it's going to have 1 place, 2 places. So in my answer, it's no longer 30, but it's 31/100ths, or 3/10. So that's my first example. Again, I had 1, 2 up here, and 1, 2 down there. Here's another problem. 7 2/10 times 5/10. I have 1 and 2, so my answer will have 2 places to the right of the decimal. Let's do some math. 5 times 2 is 10, carry the 1. 5 times 7 is 35, plus 1 is 36. And I'll count from the back. 1, 2. So my answer is 3 6/10, because there's 2 places behind the decimal, 2 places behind or to the right of the decimal. Here's a problem that's a little more difficult. I gave myself a little more room on this one. Before I even start, I can tell that I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll have 4 places in my answer to the right of the decimal. When I'm doing multiplication like this, I like to work efficiently, so I can look at this and say, oh, that's 1. So I don't have to go 1 times 3, 1 times. I can just write 2, 1, 3. For my next line, 6 times 3 is 18, carry the 1. 6 times 1 is 6, plus 1 is 7. 6 times 2 is 12. And again, for my last number, I'm just multiplying by 1. So starting right below this guy, 3, 1, 2. Now I'm going to put some zeros in for placeholders. Again, you're going to be more successful at multiplication if you can keep track of things. 3 plus zeros is 3. 1 plus 8 is 9. 9 and 3 is 12. 2 and 2 is 4. 1 and 2 is 3. So there I have 5 digits, but I know from my earlier inspection that 4 of them will be behind the decimal point. So 1, 2, 3, 4. There's my decimal point. Now that's pretty standard. Sometimes you'll have a problem that's a little bit different and it'll look like this. Here I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so I'll have 6 places. With this kind of a multiplication problem, I don't have to worry about these, so I'll just do 5 times 2 is 10, carry the 1, 5 times 6 is 30, plus 1 is 31, carry the 3, 5 times 5 is 25, plus 3 is 28, carry the 2, 5 times 1 is 5, plus 2 is 7. I don't have to keep going because those are just zeros and they'll just be filling up space. But I do need to have somehow 6 places behind the decimal point. So let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I need to put in some zeros to fill those spots. So again, just to double check, I had, here's the decimal points, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In my answer I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the decimal point is there. And finally, just one more thing. That looks kind of clunky and it makes me feel kind of out of balance to look at it. So I'm going to put in a 0 to sort of balance it and make me feel better. Again, like I did in the other problem, I'm just multiplying by 1, so I'm not going to break a sweat. 1 times 840 is 840. 1 times 840, and look, I'm starting right below this, is 840. And 1 times 840 is 840. I'm going to add all those up. 0, 0, 0. So, how many did I have to begin with? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. So there's my answer. And again, it's important that you count the number of places to the right of the decimal point in the problem part. Your answer will have the same number of places to the right of the decimal point. So upstairs and downstairs will match. And that's my quick video on multiplying with decimals.